attempting to do a heroic, well, I say attempting, doing at least one of the heroic bosses that I've actually figured out how to do. I might also see if I have codes that I'd kind of like to get for attempting one of the other heroics. I know I don't have codes for another one of the heroics. This is looking at Naxxramas. I attempted to make some videos for Naxxramas and the normal run through and all the class challenges and all that. But due to some issues with recording, namely my mic being muted by accident, and also the footage getting corrupted afterwards, I no longer have access to that footage, so this is now going to be my new video. I'm just going to start here. Hopefully Matt has already shown you what the adventure looks like, so I'm going to be showing you more of the ladder climb stuff. So first, let's look at some of what I see as uses for some of those new codes. So the biggest change in anything that I've done has been the death zoo, as I call it. I call it the death zoo because it has a bunch of death rattles in it, and it probably will have more in the future, but this is what it is for now. It also is the death zoo because it's really good at killing people. So, as you can see from this one, I actually have most of the low drops that you get from Naxx. Those being the Nerubian Egg and the Haunted Creeper. Both of these are really, really good for zoo. These are actually quite good. What it means in most situations against a lot of decks is they have to AoE the board twice to stop your momentum dead. And even then, most of the time it's not enough. Normally before this, the zoo would be shut down if they had, one lightning storm or, arcane explosion, say. Well, not so much the arcane explosion, but lightning storm. If they had a lightning storm, a consecration, a holy nova, whatever. Any of the 2 damage AoE spells out there, which there's quite a few of. Hellfire even. That would completely wipe your board. You'd have nothing left other than maybe the 2-1 from the Harvest Golem. Now, you have Haunted Creepers that survive it. In fact, your board actually gets stronger after they AoE it. And you might also have the 4/4s from the Nerubians after they AoE it. It is actually quite amazing. Haunted Creeper and Knife Jugglers are just incredible together. It's actually kind of absurd how good those two combo together. There's been some other changes that I think I recorded on here as well that was also part of my lost footage. I think I've crafted a second Abusive Sergeant and the second Direwolf Alpha to make this deck work well. So the idea with this deck is strong minions and lots of buffs. The buffs are used because the Haunted Creeper and the Nerubian Eggs benefit quite a bit from having buffs, as do the rest of the cards in the deck, really. This deck is absolutely insane on ladder. Essentially, like, if the deck isn't a hard counter, or if they don't get really, really lucky with draws, most decks just utterly die to this deck. It's a little bit slower than what a normal zoo would be. And there are a handful of changes that I would consider making to this deck. However, I think at this point, any change that I make will strengthen it in one area and weaken it in another. There's no clear upgrades at this point. -1 for a card that has yet to be released from Naxx, which is replacing the Urgent Squire with a card called an Undertaker, which I think I can actually show you from crafting. Yeah, Undertaker. I can't get it yet because it's Construct Quarter. Which one is that? I'll actually look and see which one that one is. But it's whenever you summon a creature with Death Rattle, gain +1/+1. I feel like that fits into the deck better than the Urgent Squire. Yes, I do like the stickiness of minions, but I like the buffing of that potential that this guy has more, I think. I've also just been playing that the Origin Squire in this deck doesn't... It's good, and it's the best card that I currently have to put in there, but it really just doesn't fit very well with the deck. So that's the one change that I'm almost for sure going to make. Other than that, this deck is pretty much done. I would like to get another Doomguard, but I'm having problems figuring out what I'd remove for it. Maybe maybe a Power Overwhelming for a Doomguard. Maybe. Makes it more consistent on the burst. I don't know. Maybe. But Power Overwhelming is so good with Nerubian Egg. It is just absurd. And certainly, I mean, this deck could be rearranged a little bit, but I mean, you could even potentially consider removing Yetis and replacing them with other stuff, more combo-y type cards. But Yetis are just so solid. Dark Iron Dwarves are pretty much a must in this deck. You might also consider maybe removing the Yetis for one or two, like maybe a Doomguard and an Urgent Commander would be pretty good. But I don't have those cards, and something tells me I won't get those cards until after Naxx is completely released, because I don't think I'll be getting any new cards between now and before Naxx is completely done. So this is my deck. It's not going to change very much going forward. As I get gold cards, I'll add in gold cards with the leveling up the Warlock. I should be close to like Golden Flame Imp or something. I don't know. Or no, you have to craft Golden Flame Imp, don't you? Do I use any? I guess Golden Soulfire would be one. Yeah, okay. The deck's good. I mean, it's really good. And it's actually, I have found to be one of the best decks to attempt Faerlina with. I have actually...
very important. Do not disturb her.
Right, don't talk over the thing. I've actually beaten her twice with this deck, and I think I've only lost once. So it's really, really, really good at taking her down. I have a concept to beat my Exna, but I'm not sure if I have the codes needed for it. So for now, let's try Faerlina. After this, I'll probably do some ladder climbing with the Zoo deck. I've also got to say, this Zoo deck is probably by far my strongest deck at the moment, just because of the nature of having the Naxx cards, whereas the other classes don't yet. Because this Zoo, like I said, there's only one other card worth adding to it that Naxx is going to add. I've looked at all of them.
Acolytes serve me without question.
Your soul shall be mine.
I don't really want the abusive. Pretty good start.
Why do you fall?
But yeah, I mean,
Out, you're dead.
this just simply isn't going to change very much over the course of Naxx. Whereas the other decks that I have are going to change a lot. So, and she's okay, good. She didn't summon the super OP guy that she will summon on occasion. Okay, I need to tap.
Get in there and fight, maggot. As you command.
Good. There is some benefit to killing this. Yeah. That's the other thing against Faerlina, is you want to play Rush against her, but which is a point. I have most of my expensive cards in hand. In fact, there's some benefit to doing that instead of the 4-drop.
Slay them in the master's name.
That thing is this card is so OP. It doesn't look like I'm gonna have a good way to deal with it either. I guess actually power is a really, really, really good way to deal with it. Alright, so Yeti plus power overwhelming. See, that's the beauty of the power overwhelming. Aw, really? Alright, I guess it's more worth to,
Sustenance.
hit with this one, because it's slightly lower, and then play, right,
Put this apple on your head.
that.
You call that a weapon? Let the pain speak to me.
This thing's begging to be soul-fired. And I don't particularly... Do I really need the, Doomguard? Doomguard might actually be better here than the, It might be worth just to discard both of those, or even tap to try to save the Soulfire or something. Yeah, because getting out the 5, she has problems dealing with that much. Awesome. Maybe should have considered killing the, Alright,
Done.
yeah, I definitely should have killed the Acolyte first.
Let the pain
5, 8, 12, 12, 16. So, not dead yet, but...
The light protects you.
Oh dear. I should have killed the... Okay. Wow, I got really good RNG on the, And she's pretty much dead. She has no AoE.
The widow embraces me.
Unless you can somehow manage to do 15 burst. Oh, wow. She has never used Hellfire against me. Alright. I mean, she's still dead, but okay. Cool. And that's how easy it is to beat Grand Widow Faerlina on Heroic with a Zoo deck. Even with a pretty bad start.
Spider Queen will dispatch you easily.
And he's right on that. My Exna is actually pretty difficult. So I don't think I'm going to attempt that yet. I think I'm going to end this particular video here. I'm going to go check to make sure it actually recorded correctly, because I had problems with that last time. I recorded too much without checking the raw footage. And I'll see you guys next time, and I'll be right back to do more, ladder. Alright. Goodbye.